episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and these are my co-hosts,
Queen and Christina.
And we have a special guest tonight, Mr.
Tyree.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
No problem.
And tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about cuffing season. Ooh, yeah. How many of y'all out there trying to get set up for cuffing season? You know, October coming up, so we know you're doing it. You know, we'll confess in the comments. So we know you doing it.
Yeah. The ladies, the men.
Yes.
It happens.
Gotta get it in.
So, for you guys out there, especially, well, I say for the men and the women, do you know what cuffing season is? And I'm sure you do, but we're going to ask the question anyway for those that don't. So, Mr. Tyree, you want to tell us what cuffing season is?
Well, cuffing season is when we get out of the summertime. You done had all the fun. Because you don't want to bring the sand to the beach, if you know what I mean. So,
right.
You know, you done had all your fun. You done had all your clubbing and everything. You done did a lot of playing. You done did a lot of money spending. So, you know, you got to break it down to one. Break it down to one lady that you're trying to kick it with over the cold months.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, you got the El Brocos. They ain't have no money from the beginning, so they got to get them a lady. She might not be the best looking lady, but she going to get the job done. You know, you're going to get Christmas, you're going to get Valentine's Day, and you might be able to get some of that income tax check. So a lot of times when we think about cuffing season, that's really what it comes down to. And then, you know, sometimes a player got to rest. And when a player got to rest, you got to come home, be with the family. You know, you got some baby mamas here and baby mamas there. And you got to settle on down, buy them gifts, do what you're supposed to do, and recharge back up so you can do it again next year.
Not to do it again already.
We call it repeat championships.
Oh, goodness. So, I mean, I feel like it kind of go both ways, you know. Men do cuffing and women do some cuffing as well.
That's right.
Some women, I feel like, cuff around that time because they want to receive all the things that you say, you know, the men are trying to receive during that season. So, you know, women, you got Christmas and then you got Valentine's Day right after that. Then it might be a birthday somewhere in between, you know. So
if you're lucky.
Some people, you know, they cuff the season might be during the summer. You know, it might be around the time of their birthday or something like that, just because they know that, okay, you know, it's about to be my birthday. You know, I know he gonna do this for me. He gonna do that for me. So, you know, I'm gonna cuff this dude real quick. After my birthday done, it's over with. Like, so it can go any way. I think it could be any time of the year, but I do agree that once the summer is over and it starts cooling off and getting cold, that's when the majority of people do their cuffing.
I want to throw this in there. What I see with women is women are very competitive. And they're competitive about a lot of things. The gifts they get, and oh, let me tell you about little Johnny. Little Johnny got me some roses, and he brought me some flowers, and he gave me a $500 down payment. And well, let me tell you about my husband. My husband flew me out to Puerto Rico. We had an amazing time. And then so I'm like, really? Are y'all really doing this? And they just looking at each other. It's like they always trying to one-up each other. And that's why they get into the cuffing season, just to be able to, we're going to do the comparisons. Which is crazy to me.
I agree with that too, which I think is lame because, you know, why are you even comparing somebody else's whatever situation, relationship, whatever, to yours? You know, if something's going on in their relationship, you know, that you want in your relationship, you know, your needs, your wants, express that to your partner. You know, that don't mean you look at somebody else and just be envious of it or, you know, try to do something different, right? Compete with them because they're doing something that you desire or getting something that you desire or that you want.
Yes. And during cuffing season, the period of late fall to winter, people are more likely to seek relationships or temporary partnerships, often due because of the cold weather. Online dating activity increases, of course, and dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Match.com report a spike in user activity during the colder months. For example, Tinder reported a significant increase in the app downloads and swipes between November and February. What's up with that?
Sounds about right.
Also, breakups are more common on the flip side because he might be with you from January until, say, November, because he know Christmas coming up, and he gonna break up with you before Christmas get here, and then he won't get back with you until after February.
That's right.
Cause that way he ain't got to buy you nothing for Valentine's.
Right.
Save that money.
And during that break, right,
outfits.
and during that break, he gonna be doing his own thing while you sitting there crying and want him to come back.
Yeah, and we forgetting about the New Year too, because that's a significant one too.
Yes,
You usually want to
exactly.
spend the New Year, bringing in the New Year with your partner. But if you got several of them, it's kind of hard to bring in the New Year with your partner. If you got 3-4 different partners, you only gonna be able to bring in the New Year with one person, unless y'all all in the same room. Then
Nah, that's recharge season. It's recharge season. I think a lot of the times, when you're going through recharge season, a lot of us guys like that rollover. Well, we ain't got to go search for it. We ain't got to pay for it. We wake up in the morning and we just roll right over in it. And that's what a lot of dudes is doing in that time. You save your money, you roll over, you have what you the fun you need to have, and get in and you get on out.
So is that one of the excuses the men use to cuff during
Oh
the
yeah,
month?
you got to get that rollover. How you gonna ball in the summertime if you always spending? You can't. You got to be able to get that money back up. So you roll over in the meantime to keep you at bay, and then you come out in the summertime and be a monster.
I think I see a comment that say, you might have got cuffed during cuffing season.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
You say I got cuffed?
Yeah, you got cuffed.
I might have got cuffed.
Season.
I might have got cuffed.
Ain't
You
nothing wrong with
I might
did?
I might have got cuffed because I had people buying me stuff on Christmas.
You talking about prior?
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Back in my
Right.
back in my prime. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got that Christmas. I got that Valentine's Day, and I touched that income tax check. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'm not ashamed.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting cuffed in the winter months. I got cuffed
Oh, my
too.
goodness.
December the 2nd.
I'm not ashamed.
Yes, absolutely. No, ain't nothing wrong with being cuffed. It's a problem when you being cuffed for a limited amount of time, and then drop, and then pick back up, cuffed again, and then dropped again, and then cuffed again. And
Oh, I did. Now.
That's when it's an issue.
Yeah, I did. They called me traveling mad.
Oh Lord.
I ran up out of there.
He was a Rolling Stone.
Thank you for that money. Just saying. Now this old school. Now this 20 years ago
Right.
now.
Yeah, let
This
the people
20,
know.
20 years ago
Yes.
now. Like it ain't rolling strong like that now.
Right.
Yes, 'cause
Better
we
not
are
be.
happily married.
Right.
Very strong.
Yo, amen.
God did.
Yeah, to God. Amen to that. 1000%.
Amen.
But for those, we talking to the single ladies
Right.
and the
That's
single men that love to cuff up in the winter time, in the winter months.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. We're going to normalize not being somebody else's STDs, okay? Come 2025. That's your something to do.
My chart.
We're going to grow up and we're going to tough it out, okay? Because we ain't been nobody's STDs. Okay? You can find something better to do. You can value yourself enough to say no. Either we're gonna come with it or
Right.
we ain't gonna come with
Absolutely.
it. So which is it gonna be? Okay, because you deserve better than that.
Unless it's something that you want. If you
Yeah,
okay with
now,
it,
if you okay
if that's
with
what you do,
Yes.
then do you.
Yes, but 9 times out of 10, okay, you might agree to it, but you know us ladies, our
Not
feelings
really
get caught up.
Well, don't
We
know
start
I'm glad
wanting
you
more.
said that.
We start wanting more.
Yeah.
Cuffing ain't enough. Next flick and chill is not enough.
No.
We start wanting more. We want to go out so people can see us.
Yeah.
It might start
Okay.
like that.
Yes.
But that ain't how we want
No,
it.
some of y'all downright lie.
Then we get caught
Some of
up.
y'all downright lie.
Hold on, what you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not like these other girls. I can handle it. We can be, we can just, we can just have fun, and that's it. 3 weeks later, I changed my mind.
Hey, now men do that too now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
Her
got to.
feelings got caught up. Like,
Yeah, we
she
got
can't
to.
control that.
Man,
Like, what do you
well,
mean?
you shouldn't have lied.
That's not a lie.
It
If
wasn't
your
a lie.
feelings got caught up.
Right, that's probably how she felt at that time.
You're supposed to keep
But
feeling like that.
after you put in that time, now just the same way that women's feelings can change, men's feelings
That's
change
right.
as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes the guy's feelings get caught up.
sometimes
Yeah,
it's
mine didn't.
The other
He
way around.
want her to go past the
Yours
cuffing
did,
street.
because you married.
No. I want her like that from the jump. That was not a situationship that changed into a relationship. That was
Oh,
a.
you wanted to marry her from the jump.
I told my wife, and she can tell you this right here. Hey, when we go that route, I'm looking for marriage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you're not looking for that, then we don't even go in that
Right.
direction. We ain't even gonna hurt each other's feelings or
Yeah.
whatnot.
That's
But
what's
that's where I'm coming. And I feel like
And that's how it
a
should be.
man knows what he wants to do
Yeah.
when he want to do it.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he
Don't
need to be
take-
able to express that, because men will lie and be like,
I
I
ain't ready.
right, like, they'll
I
say
don't want that.
they'll say that they do want the relationship, and then turn around and treat you like they just want to cuff you, just for a certain amount of time, and then when they done with you, you be like, well, what you made it seem like this what you wanted. Like, what do you mean? So
Well,
men will lie from the
that's
jump.
right, and-
when you could just totally be honest, and you can find somebody that's on the same page that you are.
Yeah.
That way you ain't gotta worry about hurting nobody's feelings. You ain't gotta worry about this woman switching up on you, being mad. You just gotta find somebody that's on the same page that you're on.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you came to your wife, she already knew what type of time you was on.
That's right.
And she was on the same type of timing, and y'all made that work.
Because there is women out there that's all they do.
Right.
They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want no strings attached.
It is.
They want to
It's
just
very
do what
few.
they do and next flick and chill. And then when it's summertime, they don't want to see you no more.
Yeah.
So there are women that's like that, just like there are men like that. So if that's what you want to do, then you go ahead, by all means, do you.
Right.
But on the flip side, we done growed up and we want more than just
The
a
majority.
maintenance man.
Right.
And the way to get something more than a maintenance man, you're going to have to just suffer a little bit or deny yourself a little bit. So, for example, if going in, okay, here we get ready to go into October, and all the way up to this point, you've been good, but now because it's getting colder and you just want to be, somebody to hold you at night, girl, get you a teddy bear. It ain't worth it. Yes, or get a puppy,
Right.
a cat, whatever.
Yeah.
Because that little short period of time, why you gonna get caught up in drama and you know that ain't what he want.
Right.
He just want what men want, and then when it's over with, he won't go on by his business.
Come on now.
And you be knowing.
Right.
You be knowing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do better.
Yeah. Especially when you know if it's already
A pattern with this person, what make you
Yes,
think you're
right.
gonna come along and change that
You
pattern?
can't change him.
follow
not
the
gonna
signs.
Let's do better, ladies. Let's do better.
Absolutely.
Because we can do better. And we strong. Just because we built emotionally, that don't mean we can't be strong. We can be strong. And I can tell you this because I have been strong. I'm still strong. But before I was married, I was strong enough to hold on. So I know that you can do it. I ain't sitting up here saying something that I don't know about.
Right.
I'm talking from experience. Because you just got to want better for yourself.
Right. Absolutely.
And if a maintenance man is not something that that you want to do, like we said on episode 4, get a toy.
Yeah.
Don't be Diddy now. Don't be having your little own parties.
Johnson.
No baby oil. But just take care of business and keep it moving.
The bundle pack.
But you are strong enough to focus on something else. Because I'm telling you, you get your bowl of ice cream and you turn on Netflix, eat your ice cream and go to sleep. You will forget about it. Because it ain't nothing but a mind thing. You can
Right.
control it.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't care what nobody said. That urge can be controlled. And I know it was given to us. We born with it? As we grew, it was still within us. I can't say we were necessarily born with it. So it is something that can be controlled. It's just where your focus at.
Right.
So if you focus on doing something else, like when that thought come to you, you thinking you feeling lonely, like call your nieces and nephews or take them out to a movie or something. Like if you feel like, I just need a hug, or you ain't got no people that you can just hug and they won't be trying to push it to something else, then there are other things that you can focus on. Pray. Pray about it. Ask God to take the desire away from you.
Yeah.
Temporarily, mind you.
Right.
Temporarily. Ask Him to change your focus. Focus more on Him. Like, there are ways that you can get through this. So. You ain't got to just lay up with somebody just to be laying up with somebody, or just to say I got me a man for the winter. Yeah, like you can fix that.
Right.
It won't be easy, but it can be done.
It won't be.
Sometimes they have them soul ties, and when Mandingo Jones called,
Yeah,
you might get broke down.
but even in that, like Sis was saying, it is a mind thing, and sometimes when we have different cravings, there are things that we can go into. We can read a book that's positive, a book that's we're soaking in the knowledge. There's a lot of things that we can do, even if it's writing in a journal. How you feel. Or even just lay there and rest like you should, and pray. Ask God, to help you deliver you from you. One thing He ain't gonna do is take those desires from us, because He planted that when He made Eve. And so that follows down, in every human, and we're gonna feel that. If He take it away from us, then when you do get married, when your spouse says, where are those feelings that you're supposed to have? So that's where you got to kind of look at that. But we do have to work on ourselves, and also don't be so quick to give into the desires of the flesh.
Right.
And you got to remember that a lot of the time when it's over with and your emotions is tired, then you all mad at yourself. You're beating yourself down because you start thinking, well, I could have waited. Or something comes up and maybe you got mad at the person. Now you're really beating yourself down because you feel like, well, I shouldn't have did that anyway,
Right.
Now, I'm just talking about people that are really stand-up people. I'm not talking about people that they got another name for for people that just kind of like really just go off in left field, but the people that really want to work on themselves.
Right.
Yes, focus on yourself. Like, just love on yourself. Hug yourself.
Right.
Like there's multiple ways to get through those winter months besides just laying up with somebody just to be laying up.
Definitely
Exercise.
Yes.
That energy that you got and that
Right.
you burn it out. Yes. Definitely. Work it out. Activity. Yep. Any kind of activity. If you like to sew, if you like, I like to do hair. Give me some heads on in here to occupy my time, get my mind off of it. Like just find something that, brings some value to you besides that, because that's probably not going to do much for you besides what it's going to do right there at that moment.
Yes, and another thing we need to think about too is our nieces.
That's coming up behind us. What are we going to tell them when they fall into that state? We want to be able to tell them, how what we did
Right.
to stay strong, and
Absolutely.
because they're going to have those problems, and we trying to teach them a better way of life.
Right. Yep.
And so we want to at least be done experience something that we can say, no niecey, let me sit down and have a good talk with you. And after that, you be done gave them, what you've gone through. It's up to them after, but you at least be done sat down and tell them, I care about you, so I'm gonna give it to you raw.
Right.
How it is, and
That's right.
it's up to you. To take my advice, or you can go and do what you want to do.
Learn your own way.
Because they got to know that there is, when those urges hit them, sometimes it's hard for them to manage it or control it. So it's got to be something that can be instilled within them so they'll know how to handle it. Because if you just let them go wild every time urge hit them, then you better look to have 50,000 grandkids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, come on now, let's keep it real. So somebody got to be the one to lead by an example.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to sow every wild seed. And for the men, don't y'all come for me, because I know it's harder for y'all. It was supposed to be harder for y'all, because that's the way y'all was built. That's the way y'all was made.
Right.
That's where self-control come in. That's where maturity come in at. But if you just feel like that, you can't, then I'm going to let Tyreek take this one, because I be done said something. I'm not a man, so
Well, as a man,
tell them how to handle that.
you got to have the discipline at the end of the day. If you ever want anything, if you want to be anybody or anything like that, if you can't have that discipline in your life, you're always going to be chasing it. But there's other things in life that you can be chasing, like God. Doing that is going to, a lot of times when we chasing like that, and I'm going to speak for myself, a lot of the time I was chasing is because of the recognition. I wasn't chasing it, but just because I just wanted it that bad. If I already got 3 right here, why do I need 3 more? No. It was the adulation. It was the hand clapping. It was the patting on the back. And I had a season where I was like, man, I think the only reason my friends is hanging with me because of that. So now this habit that I've created, this aura that I've created, and this image that I've created, trying to hold it up and stay in that place, started to become a detriment to me. And now I was questioning my friendships. When my friends really loved me and really had my back, but because I was in such a bad spot, trying to, not keep up with the Joneses, but just trying to be the man in everybody's eyes or whatnot. And once I found out that, bagging women, it doesn't amount to anything. And then next thing I know, I had 3 kids in a year and a half. And the Lord had to teach me that lesson, bro. This is how they get here. And if you keep doing, you're going to keep having them. And then I finally learned my lesson. And I was sitting on the couch one day with these 3 kids looking at me. And I had to say, Lord, I need a wife because I need help. I'm changing diapers. I'm doggone feeding kids. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Because a man can take care of kids. I've done it. So, but the greatest satisfaction a man is ever going to have is getting them a wife, having them a family, having a legacy. There's nothing like that rollover, and you know that woman got your back 365 days a year. Most of us out here, if we just keep it real, we're really chasing and going hard because everybody else think it's cool. And that's one of the hard things being a man. When we run them numbers up, we get love. The guys give us love, and what's crazy is the girls give us love too, because they curious of what is this man doing to get all these women or whatnot, and they have to find out. But when women do it, they get tore down, they get ran through, and I understand the dynamic because men gotta get it, and women just give it away. But at the end of the day, it's not fruitful for anybody. It's not fruitful, and it's for anybody or our community. The reason everything is broke down the way it's broke down now is because the breaking down of the families or whatnot. We got too many single parents out here trying to take care of these kids, and now they have gotten so used to it that when they grow up, that's okay, that's cool. They don't have anything to aspire to. Right. So we got to get back in our right position as men, first and foremost, and take our families back, and our community be better. But I know it's fun. I know it's the euphoria that comes from it, because I'm gonna be honest too, and this is where I end it. I love the chase more than I love the ending. 7 days a week, period, point blank.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you did have 3-4 over here,
Mm-hmm.
were you telling all 3-4 the same thing? Like, were you honest with either of them? Did either of them know about each other? Like, did they all think that you were trying to cuff them, or wanted to be in a relationship, wanted to marry them? What were all these different women thinking? What were you telling all these different women?
If you really performing at a high level, you can tell them the truth.
Okay, so you was telling the truth.
Oh, they knew.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Please.
At one point, it was 6. 1 day off.
Are you telling me? Are you saying that you had one for Monday, for Tuesday?
Wow.
In my phone, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the day of rest was Sunday. Now, I want to keep it 100% real. Even though I had them, that mean I wasn't doing that every day.
Mm-hmm.
I might just go visit, and
Right.
they cook some food or something.
Yeah.
And I might just Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
It wasn't no Netflix and chill back then.
Right.
But I would just go over there and chill. That's what I knew. That's when I finish my day, do whatever I was doing. This is where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm going to do. And whatever happens, happens. And then that's over until next week.
Mm-hmm.
And they understood. I think I only had one Thursday that was giving me problems. Wanting to call me extra days and all this kind of foolishness or whatnot.
They couldn't call you on the other days.
What was the reason to? You could, but I mean, it's going to be short. It's not your day.
I'm with Wednesday.
I'm just being honest.
I'm going to tell you, for y'all that don't know,
Wow.
when you have multiple women and they don't know about each other, that's called roaching. So you just like a roach. We don't die, we multiply. Look it up.
have never heard that in my life.
Look it up.
Have you heard that before? I've never heard that before in my life.
You better Google it. That's what it's called, roaching.
Lord have mercy, you learn something new every day.
That's all kind of dating. You got one every day of the week, and they don't know. Monday don't know about Tuesday, and Tuesday don't know about Wednesday, and Wednesday don't know about Thursday. Woo, you had to be tired.
Compartmentalization is a great thing.
That's
That's
dangerous
exhausting thinking about
game,
it.
though. I feel like that is just so dangerous to me.
Who tried?
Living on the edge.
Well, thank God you married
How long
now.
did you do that?
Oh, that was probably, that strong time was probably about 7-8 months.
Wow.
Then the kids started coming.
Okay.
So it was like God was like, hey, you getting out of control.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting out of control.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop.
Lay down.
Kid came. Then I was like, air player. got to have one, you know what I'm saying? Then the second kid came, and now I'm about broke down crying. Then the third kid came. I was like, I give up. It's over for me.
Yeah. And it humble
So,
you.
oh yeah, I got humbled very quickly, and I love the kids. I was happy when I had that first one, but after that, I was like, now this is ridiculous.
Well, God got a way of settling you down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sitting you down.
Right.
But
So
he sat you down and you happily sat down. So that's all that
yeah, I
matters.
sat down. I mean, when I say sat down, I mean literally took that away from me. Like strong took that away from me. I had my last encounter, and then I was, like I said, I was in the house, and I was just like, this right here is just not it. And when I tell you, I was in such a broke down state at that point. My money was funny. I was living at home with my mama. I was sleeping on a mattress or whatnot. Then I made that declaration, Lord, this is what I need.
Help.
Boom. Yeah, I need help. 3 weeks later it came. And but when it came, my life started changing.
Right.
Once I went,
Absolutely.
and then then I got into church, and then I learned
Right.
that hey, there's favor in having a wife. There's favor in having that woman in your life or whatnot. Because I know with me, when I get that woman, my wires change. And then it's about, I got to take care of my family. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that. And that's just how I'm built. And once I sign that paper, it's a wrap. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be on point. All that.
So instead of about you, now it's about them.
Yeah.
Or all of y'all.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
unit. What were you finna say, Queen?
I was gonna ask, with the women that were all involved, how many of them did you leave crying?
One.
Okay.
One of them was a baby mama. One of them was a baby mama, and then she came to me one day. And this is where the tears came from. We already have a kid, and because I'm doing the right thing, and this is what makes it hard when you have a kid with somebody that you don't want to be with like that. When you do the right thing, they think those are acts of love for them. No, my kid live over there. So if you need money for the power bill, I'm gonna pay that. You need some food or whatever, I'm finna do that. Something happened, you need me to come, I'm gonna do that. You're mistaking me being a good person as a man that wants you. That was definitely not the case. Right. And so once she came to me with a marriage book, and I looked at it, and then I looked at her. And she understood what that meant. That is never, ever going to happen because of the situation. Some people can go into a situation.
No, yeah, it works sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Into a situation where you had a kid and you just want to be with your kid, so you're going to try to make it work. I did that for probably 2 weeks, I thought that. And I said, brother, do you remember how you met her?
Yeah.
And the time that you've been with her, the foolishness she's done, do you really want to attach yourself to this more than you have with this kid or whatnot? And she took me through hell. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you want to, it's always cheaper to keep her. So go ahead and get you one that you want to keep.
Right.
Get you one that you want to keep. Because, man, if she the wrong one, she going to give you problems after problems after problems. I can give you so many stories. And she knew what it was. She thought the baby was going to change something. And it did not. And she took the kindness almost as a weakness or whatnot. If a man don't want to be there like that, he ain't going to be there like that. It doesn't matter if he's a good man.
Don't matter what you buy for him. What you do for him.
No matter how much he loves that kid. He don't want you like that. He don't want you like that.
No.
And I know a lot of women be like, well, that's my past. Girl, that was a month ago. Ain't no way you changed that fast. I'm out.
That's still the past. That's still the past now. Don't get it twisted.
Deuces!
Still the past.
It is still the past. But people don't usually change overnight.
And now we talking about my kid. My oldest son is 22, and she's still having the same struggles. She's still having the same issues. My kids are still complaining about the things that are going on with her. So what would I have done to change that? You see what I'm saying? a person has to change for themselves.
Right.
They have to change for within. For whatever reason it's for, God, themselves, or the kids.
Right.
But if they're not going to change and they're going to still stay in that immature state and never grow up, you never want to be responsible. That's just a bad situation for all parties.
Yeah, that's true.
Ladies, when a man tells you he don't want to be in a relationship, or he don't want nothing serious, or if he coming to you just for y'all have an agreement to get together for the winter months, and then in summer y'all breaking up, don't catch feelings, let it go.
That's right.
Because he
Don't
told
nobody
you
play
up
like
front.
that.
And he gonna bring it back.
Believe him.
Yeah.
He gonna
He
bring
said
it back.
that.
This is what I told you.
Right.
And ladies, I know that there's guys out there that's gonna do it. They gonna say one thing and they gonna be doing stuff that look like another thing.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Whatever.
For sure.
I promise
Oh,
you,
yeah.
at some point, he's gonna bring it right back and this is what I told you.
Because he want to get straight for the summer.
Yeah, protect your hearts, ladies. Protect your hearts.
So you better watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If you got to, sign a contract.
The same way.
Take it to court.
The same way the
So
men
emotional.
Let you know what they want and what they don't want. You women, we gotta do the same thing. You know, you let the man know what you want. Don't let the ball be in his court all the time. Let the ball be in your court. You call the shots.
Right.
If you want a real relationship and that man can't he's saying he don't want that real relationship, you need to find somebody that's on the same page with you that want a real relationship. Don't waste no more time, because there ain't nothing that you gonna do or say that's gonna change that man's mind.
That's right.
It might keep him hanging on just a little bit longer, but he ain't gonna stay. If
He
he
only
don't want
gonna
to stay, he ain't gonna
change if
stay.
he want to change.
Right.
If he don't want to change, he'll change now. He'll change for the one he want.
That's right.
But if
Easy.
he done told you, we ain't that,
Right.
believe him.
Right. Absolutely.
Keep it moving. All right, I guess we better get to these dear gens, because I got two of them and they kind of long. Dear Jen, it was mid-October when David and I first crossed paths at a friend's Halloween party. The crisp air carried a sense of new beginnings, even as the leaves fell. I was fresh out of a relationship and wasn't looking for anything serious, nor was David. He had been burned before, and he was enjoying his freedom. But cuffing season had a way of making even the most independent souls crave warmth. We hit it off instantly. We were swapping stories over spiked cider and in the corner of a crowded room. As the night progressed, there was no denying the chemistry between us. My wit matched his dry humor perfectly. Our laughter flowed naturally, but there was an unspoken understanding. Neither one of us wanted complications. As the party began to wind down, David leaned in. He said, "So, no pressure, but what do you think about keeping things simple? Just you and me, no strings attached. Just for the season." I considered it for a moment. My eyes locked with his. I wasn't looking for love, just a little warm-up to get through the colder months. "That sounds perfect," I replied with a smile. "But once the snow melts, we go back to doing our own thing." "Deal," David said, his grin widened. I bet he did. Over the next few weeks, we spent cozy nights together, watching movies, sharing takeout, and enjoying the fleeting comfort of our arrangement. There was no expectations, no plans for the future, just the warmth of each other's company to chase away the chill of the night. For me and David, cuffing season wasn't about forever. It was about right now, and right now was more than enough. As November faded into December, David and I settled into a rhythm that suited us both. We spent lazy weekends wrapped in the blankets, binging shows, and laughing over burnt attempts of homemade pizza. It was easy, effortless, and uncomplicated. Just what we both wanted, until everything changed. One chilly morning, I woke up feeling unusually nauseous. I saw it coming. At first, I dismissed it, thinking it was something I ate, but the symptoms persisted. After a few more days of feeling off, I bought a pregnancy test, and my hands were shaking as I stared at the little box on my bedroom, bathroom counter. 2 pink lines. My heart pounded. This wasn't a part of the deal. We agreed to keep things simple, to just enjoy the moment. But I was staring at a future I hadn't prepared for. Panic galled at me as I debated what to do next. I couldn't just keep this to myself. David had a right to know. Later that evening, we met at my place as usual. David greeted me with his usual charming grin, but my face gave me away. "You okay?" he asked, noticing the tension in my posture. I took a deep breath. "David, I'm pregnant." The words hung in the air, as heavy as the December sky outside.
Oh my God!
David's smile flaunted and replaced with an expression of shock and disbelief. "Pregnant," he echoed, running his hand through his hair. "But we were careful." "I know," I said, my voice trembling, "but accidents happen." David stood up and paced the room, the reality sinking in. This wasn't what he signed up for. He had been clear from the start. No strings, no complications. And now, the one thing that could tie him down was staring at him in the face. "I don't know if I could do this," he murmured, more to himself than me. "This wasn't supposed to happen. We agreed. Just cuffing season. No strings." I felt my chest tighten. "I didn't plan this, David. I know that's not what we expected, but I need to know where you stand." He stopped pacing and turned to face me, his eyes conflicted. "Look, I like you. I really do, but this is too much. I'm not ready for this kind of responsibility. I thought we had fun for a few months, but now it's time to move on." He trailed off in silence, and it was louder than anything he could have said. The unspoken words cut deep. I felt a wave of emotion crash over me. "So what? You just want to end things now? You just want to walk away?" I asked. He hesitated before nodding slowly. "I think it's best for both of us." My heart sank. I had prepared myself for a lot of things, but not this. Being left alone to face a life-changing decision. I swallowed hard, trying to keep my voice steady. "Fine," I said, my tone cool. "But just know, whatever I decide to do, I'll be doing it alone. And if you can't be part of this, then don't expect to come back later." David's face was a mix of guilt and relief, and with a final nod, he turned and walked out of the door, leaving me standing there, alone. My world completely shifted. As the cold night air blew through the crack of the door he had just exited, I wrapped my arms around myself, feeling the weight of the future. I wasn't sure what came next, but one thing was certain: cuffing season was over. And I knew I had to be stronger than I ever imagined. Should I beg him to stay and be the father to our child? "No, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Let him go."
It don't matter how much begging you do, it ain't gonna make him stay.
No, because he obviously wasn't feeling it. And he did. Y'all did have an agreement.
Right.
So, ma'am, you're going to have to eat this one.
Yeah, that's when we have to just check ourselves, because many women done been in this same position before. But when you guys are coming to each other, having that conversation or having that one-on-one, letting each other know what you want, what you desire, what you don't want, you got to make sure you are taking those precautionary measures to make sure you don't do nothing to mess up your cuffing season or whatever it is that y'all got going on. If it's something that both of you agreed to, then both of y'all need to make sure y'all are taking the proper measures to make sure y'all don't mess up what y'all have going on if y'all want to continue. So, like she said, you kind of got to eat that one. He probably will come along later on, the guilt will set in, knowing that he's not raising his child. And I wouldn't push him away. You know, I wouldn't deny him from being in his child's life if he does come along, because your child is gonna need their father.
Now, the only thing I was gonna say is I like your optimism, but some dudes is trash.
No, yeah, for sure.
Some dudes is for sure trash.
For sure.
If a woman come to you and she's in a mega vulnerable state like that, and what you do is just talk about how you feel, and you walk out.
Right.
That's a different level of man. That's a different level of trash. That's a different level of person. And the reason I'm gonna say that is, this is from experience. That's how, you know, my story was something like that. I tried to kick Thursday to the curb. My homeboy thought it was funny when Thursday called him, and he gave me the phone. This is when we went, you know, yeah. Because I wouldn't answer my cell phone. This was in the Roman days of cell phone. I lied and said I had been in Atlanta for 3 weeks, and I ain't want no roaming charge. So, and I just got back. And so he gave me the phone, and she asked me to come through. I got my homeboy to take me over there because I didn't want to spend the night. I was trying to be through. And she told me just like she told dude. And my demeanor went from, you know, initially, because I didn't want to be over there. When she told me that, my whole demeanor changed. I was like, man, dang. She said she's pregnant. Okay. You know what? Go put some clothes on. We're going to go to Denny's. I took all 3 of us out to eat or whatever. We talked about it, tripped about it. I said, hey, I'll come pick you up Monday. I'll take you to the what's the name? Health department. Boom, picked her up, took her to the health department, took the test. They said she pregnant or whatever, whatnot. Not one time did I say it's not mine.
Yeah.
Not one time did I try to condemn her in any way
Yeah.
or anything like that. There's no reason to, because
No.
when the baby comes, you can always take a DNA test.
Yep.
You take the DNA test, they're gonna tell you if it's yours or it's not.
And you
So-
already know it's a possibility.
Yeah. There's no reason to argue about it when you're gonna get a definitive answer. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she's trying to just tear me up, tear my pockets up, I can understand. You know, you fit being a little standoffish. But if she being reasonable during this time frame, then you should be reasonable. And if you didn't want to have a kid, you sit down and have a discussion. Hey, this is what we agreed to. Maybe you should try to go down this road or whatever, whatnot.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And then go from there. But just to shoo her away, and it's not your problem, it's only her problem, because the agreement was we both weren't going to have these problems. But now that there is a problem that took both of us, then we both got to deal with this problem one way or the other.
Yeah.
So,
The
man, you got to
second
be
part
right now.
The woman is the person that carries, you know, the child. So it'd be different if we could leave the men out here with baby.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you for that. Thank you for being a man.
It would
Thank
be
you.
different if it was the other way around, but you know, unfortunately, we would be the ones that would be stuck, you know, until he does wake up and realize, you know, the mistake that he made by walking away.
And why does it have to be that the woman have to chase the man down to take care of his child?
Right.
Like, the first thing men do is get on the fence. How I know it's mine? Well, you know you were sleeping with him.
Right,
So, do you know it's a possibility?
And it's so simple to clear that up real quick. It don't take but a piece of slob or a piece of blood or something, you know, get that little DNA test done. It's now they got it to where you can get the DNA test before the baby's even born.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's so much out here.
You don't have to be standoffish about it.
Right.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times they be trying to wish it away.
Yeah.
They trying to push the problem away, girl. Get on so what?
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't use no protection, so you know it's a possibility.
Right.
But that emotional
Stress right there is so loud, you know, on the female. And I know the brothers, it kind of slowly catches up to them. But that moment when you share the news that this is what's happening, all of that is so vital. You know, you just can you either have a person gonna end up being happy,
Right.
or they're gonna be broken.
Right.
And that broken, once she's broken, she'll never forget that.
Right.
That moment in life when she's told her partner, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and the response that she got from him.
Yes, and then y'all guys gotta also think when she's carrying, and all those emotions that she's feeling based off what you're putting out, you're not wanting it, and then to her that's a rejection. What you think the baby's feeling
Right.
on the inside?
Yep.
So then that goes that resentment she have towards you because she know who she slept with. She know whose baby it is. 9 times 10, if she only slept with you, I say. So then that's gonna, all them feelings and anger, she got to carry that child for 9 months. What do you think that's doing to that baby?
Right.
And then that baby come out and crying a lot, and can't nobody else explain why it's feeling the same emotion
Right.
she felt. Like, come on, it just, it comes from her. So if you a stand-up man, a real man, own up to your responsibility.
Right.
Take care of it. Give the right answer. It ain't just emotional for you. It's emotional for her as well.
Right. Yeah.
So think about the child. From the moment of conception, she's feeling all types of stuff. And she don't understand what's going on. And then when she finds out she's pregnant, then whatever she's feeling, that baby's connected to her. It's going to be feeling. So you got to think about it. You got to not think about yourself in that moment.
Right.
Because there's another human being that's done been created. So consider going forward what to do from there. Don't. I know you probably scared or mad or whatever the case may be, but it ain't about you no more. At that
Right.
point, it's not about you. So those things you have to consider. And I guess we don't went over, so we'll say this next letter to the next episode. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir.
Yes.
You got
Enjoyed
anything
you.
else you want to say?
I thoroughly enjoyed coming on. It was an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate y'all inviting me.
Welcome back anytime.
Well, you can follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Check That Post Podcast and on YouTube at Check That Post Pod. We hope y'all enjoyed us this evening. Hit the like and subscribe button so you know every time we upload a new episode. You can write a Dear Jen letter to checkthatpostpod at gmail.com or text 866-311-2251.